Hey, yo, ladies and gentlemen, what's happening? My voice is almost gone, but it's full-time trip. We are here. 2-2 Man City, Arsenal at the Etihad Stadium. And listen, for the first time this season, we got big hitters in the building, man. We got my guy in the building. Timo is here, bro, for the first time for the 2024-25 season, man. Say what's up to the people, Timo.
How you doing, people? It's good to be back. And boy, what a time to be back.
Oh my gosh, man. Listen, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. So I'm about to get mad. If y'all allow me, if y'all would indulge me. Again, a big occasion. Missing a lot of starters, you know what I'm saying? We come up with the game plan. City have their game plan. We get into it. I don't even know where exactly to begin, but I'll try and start with the first half before we get into any of the extracurricular things. We'll start with the play. We'll start with the play of the first half. So again, we open up really cagey in the first few minutes. Unfortunately, we get a tough opening. Savinho takes a really good touch about 7 or 8 minutes in. There's a wide gap. Haaland gets through 1-0. Just uncharacteristic lapse in concentration from us in an opening that they go 1-0 up in. But we start to grow into the game. We start to find our footing, and eventually we start to get through. Off of a quick restart, we get right back into the game. Martinelli goes right down to the left wing, puts a ball in. Calafiori with a banger. Oh my gosh. Calafiori with an absolute screamer to make up for his misfortunes against Savinho. What an absolute way to make your start, to make your first full start in the Premier League against Manchester City like that. That's how you do it, baby. Italian stallion. We love that. And as we further get into the game, we run, we're doing our thing, and eventually the set pieces start to flow. We get one close. You know what I'm saying? Gabriel could have got there. You know what I'm saying? Did a little do-si-do and got on it. Second one, of course, Kyle Walker, dumbass, trying to tap him on the chest or whatever. He got swished out the way, palm face, and then straight header. Gabriel scores again, back-to-back clutch games. We are 2-1 up, but then it's the culmination of a lot of things that were happening in that first half. But the ref comes into play once again as he sends Leandro Trossard off for a delay of restart. Okay, before we get into that, give me a quick cliff notes, what you thought about the first half.
Well, I only caught maybe the last 20 minutes. So obviously I've seen our equalizer. Calafiori's done really well to get that kind of finish on the edge of the box, something I don't think City were expecting in any way, shape or form. We're starting to grow more in confidence, trying to get a few passing combinations going, especially on the left-hand side where Martinelli seems to be getting a lot more like confidence in as the performance is kind of growing. And yeah, like you said, I think as the game was wearing on, it seems like we were trying to impose ourselves a bit more. And obviously after Rodri had come off for City, it looked like we had a bit more control over the game. And we've gone into we've almost gone into half time, 1 with a lead and 2 with 11 men. And then before you know, it's like, oh, hold on, rewind that. Yeah, I'm Michael Oliver, and I'm gonna make the calls around here. And well, we already know what happens after that. So yeah.
And then let's get right into it, man. This reffing performance, the refereeing decisions that were happening all across this game,
brother.
Let me just before we get into this, bro. Let me just say this. Michael Oliver. Matter of fact, while I do it, Michael Oliver, you know what I'm saying? The ball spot will continue to grow. It's sorry for you, brother, but it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen to you, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. I just want to make sure I get, you know what I'm saying, all my information's correct on who's gonna be taking part in this match, who was involved in this stuff. Let me see who's the refs today, man. But real quick, Timo, ref performance. Give me a quick note.
Are we sure we're not allowed to put him in player rating?
No, he gonna get in there. He was leading the line for Man City. Of course, we're gonna put him in there. Of course, we're gonna put him in there. What do you mean?
I think even to just be a bit more serious about the scenario, like, bro, that is supposed to be the Premier League's best ref,
most tenured ref.
Like when I'm talking experience, know-how, understanding of the game, understanding of what high-profile games are, and the implications sending offs or yellow cards have on those games. Right now, we had a situation about 2 weeks ago where an official decided to make himself the most important thing. Fine. Look, Arsenal accepted it. No argument. Rice served his ban. Right? It happened at a very monumental part of the game. We have just gone in 1-0 up at half time. and we've not even 5 minutes resumed, red card. Like I said, no argument. Consistency, letter of law is what we've had to hear for the last 3 weeks. For the last 3 weeks, we have seen games in which the same action has been made and players have not been carded. The same action that they've said he's been Trossard being red carded for has not been red carded. Today's game, Doku kicks the ball away on an Arsenal free kick. Not carded. But then the challenge, which if somebody wants to argue and say, oh yeah, no, that could be the reason why, fine. It wasn't the challenge. Across the board, it was because he kicked the ball away. Look, if you are going to enforce a law on that, don't enforce it just on Arsenal players, please. The consistency across the entire league has been piss poor. Poor.
Disgusting.
And then not to even state the obvious, because like, look, it is happening to Arsenal more and more high profile. It's happening to Arsenal, but you're supposed to be the best ref in the league who can manage those situations. You literally saw it for how it was played, and you were like, yep, let's give him a red card. Knowing the implication, what that's going to have on the rest of the game. Knowing the implication that's going to have on the rest of the game. And then to come to this idea that, oh, Arsenal fans complain too much, blah, 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 blah. Bro, how do you expect us not to?
We've been seeing this shit for decades.
The same thing's been happening for too long.
Decades, bro.
For too long.
Decades. Since I was a child, bro. You kidding me?
You can't even complain. You can't even state that, oh, it hasn't happened that often, or this, that, and that.
Since the days of that pussy old Mike Riley. Since the days of him.
Bro, I'm seeing Sir Bob's life for Liverpool kick the ball away. No yellow card.
Nothing.
Gal Pedro kick the ball away. No yellow card. There are players on teams that are doing it, but you're literally sat there saying, oh yeah, no, big game, Arsenal, you already know what to do. Pull that card out.
Yep. And let me just double down and get real quick. Good analysis. I appreciate that. I appreciate the, you know what I'm saying, the very straightforward take. Listen, Michael Oliver, you know what I'm saying, Stuart Burt, Dan Cook, John Brooks, Richard West, Andy Madley, all of you scrubs, I promise you, you don't have a solid brain cell. You all have the combined texture in your brains of a fushigi ball. You all have the combined texture of a bowling ball going down the lane at 50 miles per hour. You scrubs, I promise y'all are not fit to manage anything. You're not fit to manage a McDonald's, let alone a Premier League match. You guys are bums. You are all bums. Inconsistent, incoherent scrubs. I promise. And then the match day officials and all these pricks like Mark Clattenburg and stuff like that, they're gonna go out and try and justify this. Like, oh yeah, because the letter of the law has to letter of the law. The letter of the law you're blind for when Doku does it 30 minutes earlier.
Letter of the law
the
only
same
applies to
law.
Arsenal Football Club. The letter of law only applies to Arsenal Football Club.
The only letter y'all looking at is the A.
Bro, yeah,
pricks.
Literally. Like, we don't even have to have the A.
About.
As soon as you see the cannon on a badge, yep, that's definitely letter of the law. They're not allowed to do that. Every other team is, though. Every other team is allowed to do that, though.
Pricks. Pricks, man.
Yeah, man.
Ridiculous. It makes no sense how we are ref to this level of inconsistency almost every single week. And it's not just us.
Yeah, it's not.
It's
not. It
not.
happens to be us in a more high profile manner.
And in these big matches,
these big matches. Like, look, for it to have happened, okay, so look, no one talks about what happened in the Tottenham game. Fine. The Brighton game is spoken about. We didn't have to talk about this in the Villa game. And like, we talk about the number of games we've had to play in the last 3 days. Like, you've got to give some of these players the benefit of the doubt. You're yellow carding players that literally are having hamstring injuries.
If your dumbass conglomerate known as the PGMOL can give the benefit of the doubt to Vicario, who's literally playing basketball, doing and-one tricks behind his legs, behind his head with the ball, outside the box and handling it, and not giving him a sending off, or at least a yellow, then you can give some benefit of the doubt to people who, again, are barely even committing to these fouls, barely committing to these stupid rules that you implement in such an inconsistent rate. Oh my gosh, they piss me off so much, bro. You ruin big games, you ruin occasions, you are ruining the potential trajectories of people's seasons. This is literally the most high-profile match, one of the most watched matches in world football today. And you ruin it with your inconsistency and your stupid. We just want to watch people play football, bro. I get certain things are nailed on. I get that. But you don't know what nailed on is. You change it every week. You change it every game. Fix up, man. Stupid, bro. Y'all are dunces. I promise you. And I got the cap coming from Amazon Prime to y'all locations ASAP. Don't worry. What's wrong with y'all, bruh? Let's get to the second half because I want to talk about this. I want to really talk about this.
Why?
If you wanted to, and you know why the screens are bigger? Do you know why the screens are bigger? So we can watch the Haram in HD. That was some of the most beautiful Haram ball I've ever seen. I want to let y'all know. Y'all say that this is a Pep clone. He just set up his cones and da-da-da-da-da. You forgot where he came from, bro. He seen people balling in PSG in the 90s. He was sitting under David Moyes at Everton. He was getting strengths. He's Super Skrull. He is the Super Skrull from Fantastic Four, if y'all understand what I'm saying, bro. He got powers from every place he been. So when you think it's time to set up a low block, you think you dumbasses who come here and get blown away every week at the Etihad, you think we're going to do the same thing as y'all? No. We're going to set the most disgusting low block of all time. That's what we're going to do. And the defensive work, the concentration for almost in the entirety of that second half, that made me proud. That made me proud.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
Dog.
Like, I look at we spoke about this right after the game, but like I look at what we had to deal with for 45, not even 45, 52 minutes.
50 plus.
52 minutes, yeah. And mind you, we were ahead. We were in front. Right? For you to be in front and have to play the way we played, right? Like, I don't think people understand, like when people talk about parking the pass, haram ball, like all this other stuff, yeah, there's an element to where it's like, oh my God, like why are they doing this? Like you can't sit there and tell me that isn't the best haram ball you've ever watched. Because like you're literally asking City to find you out. How often do you hear that? City try and find us out. They couldn't do it.
Bro, and again, this is what I said earlier, bro. They can manufacture moments from most low blocks in the world. The only people I've seen them stifled by, really and truly, Inter Milan. For the most part, Inter Milan. That was really it. Yeah. I have rarely seen this Man City side, Pep's Man City side, have no answers until an act of God, an act of pure just happenstance in the last second. They can manufacture things on the fly a lot of the time. They do. A moment of magic or whatever. We snuffed the lights out of them for 50 minutes, 10 men on the pitch, one man down. Imagine if it was 11v11 still. Imagine if we could still execute on our game plans. Huh? Listen, as much as I want to really, really get into these prick City, bro, I want to really make y'all understand something. People who are slagging us off, people who are even our own fan base, who were just again, even our own people who are like, yo, again, Odegaard's out, we don't got enough, we should have signed this, that, and the third. The window's closed. We got to look at this, bro. Look at the bare fact of the matter. Any game state, any side, any style of play. We are that adaptable to where we can fit the conditions of so many different scenarios. We can fit the conditions of so many different potential ways a game may go and stay in the fight so well that the best team in the world has no answer against us until the very last second, and they equalize and they celebrate like it's their last day on earth. If that's not a statement and a complete confirmation of how far we've come, how much they fear and respect where we're heading towards and the quality in our side, that should tell you something. 2-1 up. We almost walked away with all 3 points, and I'm pissed that one little moment, that glimmer in their eye, they just somehow got one. Got one because there was no way out otherwise. There was no way out. But I'm telling you, I don't want to focus on those pricks. I want to focus on us. I'm so fucking proud of that performance, bro. I am so proud of that performance. Man. I words cannot describe. You know, again, this is the point where I think all of us Arsenal fans are like, yo, I get what he said during that one loss. He was like, yo, I love these players even more. I love them even more. This group, I love them even more. Because you look at the effort, the absolute legs. This man Timber coming back for an ACL gives his life. Gives a whole like 80 plus minutes. Calafiori
plays 10 minutes in the last game and starts this game
a heavy 70 and
the international games that he had as well, having the injury, like coming back into the rhythm of things and performing even after having that slight lapse in concentration just tells you that this is a group we have to stay believing in. We have to stay in bro, when I'm seeing Saka come off, I'm thinking, what are we doing? Ben White comes on, responsible. Saliba, responsible. Gabriel, responsible. Timber, responsible. David Raya. Let me not even get started.
Bro. I'm not even doing ratings, bro. Just give me your standout players. Let's get right into that, bro. Just give me your standout players. Give me your standouts.
One thing I will say, Martinelli has received a lot of stick over the last
very
weeks.
much so.
And I think over the last, deservedly, we've been worried and concerned about his performance over the last 8, 9 months, 10 months, however we want to look at it. But today I saw a player that was willing to fight and carry the ball and was our most dangerous threat on counter attacks.
The thing I wanted to see today, bro. The thing I wanted to see from him the most, decision making, the final action, the final ball. That was meant today from him. That was meant today from him. Absolutely. The right decision, calm ball, look up, take a breath, one good layoff to Calafiori, bang, goal. Decision. Most of them were on the money. That's the thing. That's the thing I was worried about.
And considering he also played like more or less 70 minutes of that last game against Atlanta, to play that many minutes this game, he literally killed himself on the field. He did his best to make sure that we were able to carry the result. Obviously, on another day, in other circumstances where referees are not corrupt, we win that game. And he goes and he's able to celebrate with his teammates. Those players need to be proud. David Raya, standout performer. The amount of considering the amount of shots we had to face for 45 minutes.
Man of the match.
And then the saves he's had to pull off on Vardio, Haaland, Bernardo Silva, Walker. He's had to hold so many shots. And you'd like to think the last one, he's just unlucky because he's already dived. He's already committed to the first shot. And, there's nothing he can really do in that circumstance. It's just tough. But I'm so proud of those players. Gabriel, bro, just look, he can't be stopped. Gabriel, we speak so highly about Saliba, and rightfully so, because he's arguably one of the best centre-backs in world football. Fine. But Gabriel is becoming inevitable when it comes to these set pieces. They tried to put Doku on, bro, and he said, "No, I'm taking that as an insult." Hold on. And even he knows, he looked at him and thought, I should score. So he said, the next time, all right, cool, give me your best defender. Kyle Walker's the best 1v1 defender on the pitch at that point. He said, yeah, let me get some of that. Boom, goal. He just, when I talk about accountability and responsibility in this Arsenal team, there isn't a single player on this team that I think lacks it. No. There is not a single player on this team currently that I think lacks it. I am so proud of those boys, and I feel like they've been hard done by. But for them to have been hard done by, kept the lead for that long, that you can't think anything of, other than great. You can't think anything other than praise for those guys, because they deserve it. They deserve the 3 points. They will be upset. I completely understand they'll be upset, but they have come leaps and bounds, season after season after season. Now, where's Rodri now saying, "Oh yeah, you can't be celebrating the draw."
And again, regardless of whether he was on pitch or not, all these men were celebrating. Haaland throwing the ball into the back of Gabriel's head and jubilant. Talk about mentality, but you men celebrating a draw like this. Interesting points. Interesting signs.
That says a lot about your comments from last season, boy. All I'm saying is
bullshit.
It's funny how the page turns now. You lot are be acting different, but
it was the same page. It was the same page. They faking the funk because they know we're on the way. We're on their next, bro. I promise you. Man. Oh my goodness. I want to give so many what's ifs and maybes, but listen, people going to try and dismiss that. So I'm gonna move that to the side. Listen, I'm gonna echo what you were saying. Again, I think Martinelli put an absolute shift today, gave his life, especially again, I don't even want to talk about the goals and decision making, what I'm worried about. I'm talking about his overall play, which a lot of you people are conflating with just his final product and stuff you want to see better at. Just because he's not having a great time with his final product right now does not mean he's a bad player. He's been having great moments leading into the box, defending in every phase of play except for the last. He's been very, very good this season. So watch your mouth how you speak on his name. Today, he was good all phases, giving his life, bro, defending down, being the only outlet at times, being the only outlet, you know what I'm saying, to really run down the channel and get something somewhere, bro. He was giving everything. I want to shout out Kai Havertz, bro. Yep.
I completely agree with that shout as well.
The physicality, the engine for 90 minutes plus to be that switched in to go from number 9 to a number 8 to a number 6, to a center back, to a right back, to a left back, the fluidity, the flexibility, and the absolute tenacity to stay in the fight and be switched on for so long. From him, world of a performance. And from minute 1, he understood what it means, bro. From minute 1, if Roger tried to body check, get off me, man. Get off me, man. You know what it is. He is an absolute don, an absolute boss, a absolute athlete. And I'm so happy he is in this team. I hope this performance can at least put most of these fears to bed that he is not worth the medal for us, bro. He's absolutely worth it, bro. Absolutely worth that money. How much he brings, especially in moments like this. So tactically flexible. Wonderful, man. Wonderful performance. I want to shout out Calafiori, man. Calafiori, again.
I completely look.
How
for him to have.
How do you want to tell me this man came off an ankle injury when Italy again tried to force to play him through? He comes back. His first start is against Man City. Has not a great start because Savinho was on him, and he comes back and goes into the game that does that. Scores a worldie. Comes back and defends fantastically.
You know
the
what?
composure.
You know when you concede that early as well. Like I know we speak about Arsenal and the basketball rule that they've been enforcing for the last few years at the club, but like. When I look at the mentality the team need to have, especially when you're missing key pieces, like Odegaard today arguably wasn't missed as much as a lot of people thought he would be. Because the way that these players were playing, the way that Timber was playing, the way that Calafiori was playing, we had other ways of entry into their box. And if we can't do it the cute way, we just need to get shots off. And that's what he did. Like I just look at that and think, look at the quality we've been able to acquire in such a player. You then just look at it and think, those are the things that are going to contribute towards like points for the rest of the season. You're going to need players to be able to dig deep when you don't have your likes of your Odegaards or your Martinellis in some cases, or your Jesus who isn't completely 100%. Like you need players like that to step up, and he stepped up at the most important point for our season so far, and the boys already started his first game. I just think people need to look at that and think, there's how can you not like this Arsenal team? How can you not?
Bro, they represent everything. They represent everything we've ever wanted. And I've seen this happen over the past. We were talking about, Arsene Wenger's identity has been taken away because people are fucking afraid of us, bro. They know we can tear you to shreds if you try to play us open. So they have to sit back. So we have to work and unlock teams. We have to switch our style of play a little bit. We have to tweak to the situation because they know we're going to literally obliterate them if they try to play us 1-for-1. That's just what happens. So 2, we still have those moments down to last season, down to a couple of goals we scored this season. We still have that level of play. We play what happens depending on our opposition. Where our squad is that versatile, our squad is that level of intelligence and adaptability, we can play to any of that. And secondly, I want to let y'all know, in the past, before Arteta, you know what I'm saying? But when we had late Wenger and stuff like that, you know how susceptible we were in defense? Do you know the heart? A lot of people don't understand where 1-0 to the Arsenal came from. You know what I'm saying? George Graham type shit.
George Graham.
Resolute defense.
Tony Adams and Bold of old.
You know what I'm saying? Resolute defense. Absolute heart and passion about defending. Dying for that badge in defense as much as you go forward, bro.
You know what I will say?
Everything.
All 11 players on that pitch today demonstrated that mentality. That having that defense
to
first,
a man,
you know what I mean?
Every shred.
No ball is impossible. You go after it. I could talk about the yellow cards. I could talk about the challenges, time wasting of what they want to talk about and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you have to have that desire to win every single ball. And I didn't see anything less. I didn't see anything less from any of those players today. I think I also do think that bro, like I know Saka came off early. And obviously know that like Trossard obviously had his it's happened, right? It is what it is. But I think those substitutions at the time in which I had to make them and bringing on White, it like you can see why we were able to cope for so long, why we were able to hold for that 45 minutes, and every player played for that shirt. That's the one. Like if we're gonna draw, and you, a lot of our fans before a ball was kicked would have taken a draw. The fact that we were in the lead for so long, that's where the pain comes from, right? But if you went back and said we'll take a draw, and in terms of how we've taken that draw, it's like, wow, like defensively, I'm not concerned for the rest of the season. So long as those players stay fit and they stay healthy, I generally think this is our season. There's there's no doubt in my mind that I think we are not going to win the league this season. And I'm saying this without Martin Odegaard. Like for me to say that we're after a poor performance without him just tells me, one, how important he is for when we do need to win like games from an attacking perspective. Again, but being able to shut down teams when it is necessary. We are a scary prospect, not just in the Premier League,
in the Champions League too. And exactly what I was about to say. Again, the only thing I think we missed from those moments in the Champions League, again, those X factor moments of attack. But you just saw what Calafiori did today. That might add in a Jurrien Timber who can pull something out the bag. Remember the first goal he scored back from injury and training or whatever. People have those moments starting to creep in. We have the tactical plan. We have the athletic and talent base to commit to any tactical plan that's out there. We can price people out of the game. It's now down to creating those attacking moments and making those happen more frequently, manufacturing those a little bit more. I think that's the only thing we need to just improve on a little bit more. But everything else, we're one of the best teams in the fucking world. People better recognize. City just gasped a heavy breath of air trying to survive what we did today. Survive us blocking them out the game.
They're gonna need to find a resuscitation mask after what we managed to pull off today,
the oxygen mask in their plane just went down and they're gasping right now. They're like, yo, I can't believe we got something out of that, bro. It looked bleak. It looked bleak for us. It looked bleak. With that, I'm about to say stupid ass, inconsistent, or corrupt ref, choose one. You know what I'm saying? All that linesmen, stupid decision, fouls, all that other stuff, bro. We still held firm. We stood 10 toes down. Yeah. And we didn't buckle. We didn't budge against one of the best sides in the world today. That should tell you that we're on that ass. We are on that ass, bro. They know.
Listen, they can't afford to have another game like that at the Etihad. And they're going to have a lot of away games where teams are going to they're going to get found out. They will. We just got to stay on top of our shit. And I generally believe with the way that we've been defending in this 2024, okay, yeah, people talk about 2 goals being conceded. Those 2 goals that have been conceded have come up against the literally one of the best, like if not the best team in Europe, especially with how they score their goals. By the way, not just a matter of like them scoring goals willingly, how they score their goals. What the best team in the world, right? You cannot come and tell me that like I know Roy Keane stupidly said, how Gabriel Saliba played today. How can you call that a good defensive performance if they conceded 2 goals? I'm sorry. They've conceded 5 goals in the whole of 2024.
Roy Keane has to watch Manchester United defend. So
that's January till
now. 9 months. 5
goals.
months.
5 goals in 9 months. Yeah, man.
Safe, bro.
You know what? That's only 2 categorically in the what do you call it?
In the season. In the season.
Yeah, in the season, right? I'll take that because by the end of it, if we even concede up to 7 or 8 goals, I'll be really surprised. At this rate in which how we're performing, I'd be really surprised if we reach double digits of goals conceded, because I can tell you that now it's different. People were talking about last season. Oh, yep, 2024, we've conceded 3 goals. Cool. I'm telling you now, wait till the end of the season, because that's going to be a stat we look back at and be like,
dog,
yeah,
somebody said
they
it.
Were warned.
Shout out to Jeffrey Dahlia up on Twitter, man. He said it. We might be able to like be on the heels for Chelsea's goals conceded title, the goals conceded record from 2005. We might be on the heels of that.
Bro.
I'm serious. I'm serious, bro. Like
even look at it from this perspective, right? The like we look at the fixture list that we've had to have going into this game.
Hellscape, bro.
Right?
This week
before
North London Derby, Atalanta to this.
Yeah, when we've looked at the fixtures, we've probably said we'll probably take 6 from 9. Maybe we if we're being completely honest, Tottenham was always a guarantee, more or less. Like we knew we wanted to win over there. Fine. Atlanta was a bit more of a different prospect because they are Europa League champions and they play very well, very good football, and they're very good at what they do at home. So I would have said a draw. If we can win, it'd be great. But there are a lot of fans that would have said, you know what? If we lose at City, we can look at it from perspective of Martin Odegaard not playing and we don't have our complete 11. Or they'll take a draw at best. we were this close,
Bro.
and we've got 7 out of a possible 9.
We were the better team. We were the better team today, clearly, without Martin Odegaard. We were the better team today.
Can you imagine? You know
what I'm
we were
saying?
the better team without Odegaard?
You clock that. And we don't have that. Our new signing, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, our midfield would have been completely different if Marino and Odegaard were fit.
Mikel Marino.
Do you know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
Come run it back in February.
Bro, I'm telling you that Emirates game is going to look different. That Emirates game, I promise, if these bum ass refs don't interfere with this, it's going to be a lot different for you. I promise, bro. And I can speak with this by chest because I've seen it, bro. I've seen times we thought we had it where we didn't have it. We're still miles off, bro. This is that 2-1 at City where Roger got the last minute winner. You know what I'm saying? I remember those days. I remember them days, bro. The gap was still there. I see it, bro. The gap in quality, bro. The gap in tactics. The gap in mindset. The gap in aggression. The gap just between us, bro, is close. We on y'all ass, bro. Man City, we on y'all ass. I promise you. I promise you. Oh my gosh. Oof.
Yeah. No. And also, just to even correct myself, we've involved Villa in that game as well.
Yep.
Villa 2-0. Spurs 1-0.
Mm-hmm.
City 2-2. Like, bro, any other team, like, bro. Even our City, if they go to those teams, if they go to Villa away, if they go to Tottenham away, I mean Tottenham might be rolling park. But if they come back to Arsenal, brother, I'm telling you, they're not taking 7 out of 9. They've not taken a point off of us. They've only taken 1 point from us, yeah. In the entire 2 points in the entire of 2024. 2 out of a possible 6.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Nah, bro.
They haven't beaten us in their last 4 tries, bro. Listen, we on y'all ass, bro. And again, this isn't even final form, bro. Wait till we find a nasty outlet, bro. Wait till we find a nasty outlet. Sterling is a temp solution, bro. If we get our hands on Leao or somebody, listen. Let me not talk. Let me not talk, bro. Listen. Let me know what y'all think of the match in the comment section below, bro. I love this team, bro. I love this team. Let me know how y'all feel in the comment section below. Timo, thank you so much, bro. We back on schedule, bro. Man. Of course, glad to have you back for this season. Man, you know what time it is.
Always, bro. You know what time it is, bro. All the time.
Listen, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Stick together, Arsenal fans. Us against the world.
Sir.
Us against the world, man. Y'all know what time it is, man.
Raise that flag, baby. Raise that flag, baby.
Listen, man. Kiss that badge. Hold it tightly and let people know we out here, bro. COYG. Peace, man. Love.